They didn't just ignore me that day. They signed papers proving I had failed. I'm standing in the State Medical Board review hall, marble floors, high ceilings, about 60 people in attendance, doctors, administrators, my parents in the third row. The board chairman has just read my name aloud and the verdict that follows it. Application for medical licensure denied. Grounds: failure to meet clinical competency standards during residency evaluation. He doesn't look at me when he says it. He's already moving to the next folder. My mother's hand goes to her mouth. My father closes his eyes. The woman sitting beside the chairman, Dr. Rebecca Foster, chair of the medical board, glances at me briefly, then back to her notes. "Mr. Carter," she says, her voice flat, "do you have anything you'd like to say before we proceed?" I shake my head. "No, ma'am." She nods. "Then you're dismissed. We'll send the formal documentation within 3 business days." I turn to leave. The room is silent except for the sound of my shoes on marble. Behind me, I hear my uncle, a cardiologist, well respected in the community, lean toward my father and whisper, just loud enough, "I told you, David. Some people just aren't cut out for medicine." My father doesn't respond. Outside in the corridor, my mother catches up to me. "Sweetheart," she says softly, "it's okay. You gave it your best shot. Maybe this just wasn't meant to be." She means well, but the words feel heavy. My father doesn't speak to me for the rest of the day. That evening, at home, the silence is worse than any argument. My younger sister brings me coffee. She doesn't ask questions. She just sits with me for a moment before heading back to her room. My phone buzzes. A text from a former classmate. "Heard about the hearing. That sucks, man. What's your next move?" I don't reply. I honestly don't know. The rejection letter arrives 2 days later. Official letterhead, embossed seal, a bulleted list of deficiencies, inadequate patient interaction scores, poor clinical judgment in high-pressure situations, lack of focus during rounds, insufficient engagement with supervising physicians. Each line feels like another door slamming shut. My father finally speaks to me on the 3rd day. We're in the living room. He's holding the letter. "Michael," he says quietly, "I just don't get it. Where did things go wrong?" It's not anger. It's disappointment, which somehow feels worse. "I don't know, Dad," I say. He sets the letter down on the coffee table. "Your uncle mentioned there are other options. Medical device sales, hospital administration. You don't have to throw away everything you've worked for." I nod, but I'm not really listening. What they don't know, what I haven't told anyone, is that I've been working on something else for the past 18 months. It started during my residency, late at night when I couldn't sleep. I noticed something in the patient data systems, a gap, a serious flaw in how rural health departments were reporting infectious disease outbreaks. The delay between detection and response was killing people. Quietly, in small towns no one paid attention to. So I built something, a prediction model, open source. Simple enough to run on limited infrastructure. It cross-referenced symptoms, geography, seasonal patterns, and water quality data. I called it REDS, Rural Epidemic Detection System. I sent it to the CDC. No response. I sent it to the WHO regional office. No response. I submitted it to 3 major public health journals. 2 rejections, 1 still pending. I tried to bring it up during my residency review. My supervising physician shut me down. "This isn't software engineering, Michael. This is medicine. Stay focused on your patients." So I stopped mentioning it. But I didn't stop working. Late nights, weekends. I refined the algorithms. I tested it against historical outbreak data. I made it faster, more accurate, more accessible. I deployed it quietly, through a few contacts I had in rural county health departments. No press releases, no announcements. It just ran. And while my family stressed about my failed career, while my uncle made calls trying to find me appropriate opportunities, while my mother gently suggested I consider other paths, my system was tracking disease patterns across 4 states. No one knew, not even me, really. I just hoped it would actually work. 2 weeks after the hearing, I'm at home. My father has barely spoken to me. My mother keeps forwarding me job postings for pharmacy tech positions. It's a Thursday afternoon. I'm in my room, staring at my laptop, trying to figure out what the hell comes next. My phone rings. Unknown number. I answer. Is this Michael Carter? Yeah, speaking. This is Dr. James Peterson from the National Institute of Health. We've been trying to reach you for 4 days. My heart skips. I haven't seen any missed calls. We called the contact number listed on your residency paperwork. It was outdated. We had to track you down through the state medical board. My chest tightens. Is something wrong? There's a pause. Mr. Carter, are you the developer of the REDS model, the Rural Epidemic Detection System? I freeze. Yeah, that's mine. We need you to come to Washington tomorrow if you can make it. Why? His voice is steady, measured. Because your system just flagged an outbreak we had no idea existed, and we need to understand how it works before this gets worse. I tell my parents I have a meeting in DC. I don't tell them what it's about. My father looks skeptical but doesn't push. The next morning, I'm on the 6 a.m. Amtrak. 4.5 hours to Union Station. I'm wearing the same shirt I wore to the medical board hearing. The NIH campus in Bethesda is massive. Security checks my ID 3 times before letting me through. Dr. Peterson meets me in the lobby. He's younger than I expected. Sharp eyes, firm handshake. Thanks for coming on such short notice, he says. Follow me. We walk through corridors I've only seen on the news. He swipes a key card. We enter a conference room, and I stop breathing. The Surgeon General is there, so are people from the CDC, WHO, and FEMA. Laptops everywhere. My dashboard projected on the main screen. Mr. Carter, the Surgeon General says, standing. Please, have a seat. I do. My hands are shaking slightly. Dr. Peterson pulls up a map. This, he says, pointing to a cluster of red dots in rural Alabama, appeared on your system 6 days ago. We just confirmed it yesterday. Dengue hemorrhagic fever. 43 cases. 3 deaths so far. If this had gone another week undetected, we'd be looking at hundreds of cases. He zooms out. More clusters light up. And these? Cholera outbreak in Louisiana. Typhoid cluster in rural Appalachia. Your system flagged all of them before our national surveillance caught them. The CDC director, a woman in her 50s, leans forward. Mr. Carter, how long have you been running this system? 18 months, I say quietly. Solo? Yeah. She exchanges a glance with the Surgeon General. And you built this during your medical residency? I nod. The Surgeon General speaks. Walk us through it. How did your model catch these outbreaks before our entire federal infrastructure? I explain. Slowly at first, then gaining confidence. Data triangulation, early symptom pattern recognition, predictive algorithms based on environmental factors, open access integration that allowed rural health workers to input data from basic smartphones. The room is completely silent when I finish. Then the FEMA representative speaks. Mr. Carter, do you understand what you've built here? I hesitate. A detection system? No, he says. You've built infrastructure that could save thousands of lives, maybe tens of thousands. And you did it on a shoestring budget that wouldn't cover a single government feasibility study. The CDC director stands. We need this operational, nationwide, immediately. Can you scale it? Yeah, I think so. The Surgeon General looks at Dr. Peterson, Then back at me. Mr. Carter, we'd like to offer you a position. Lead developer for the National Disease Surveillance Initiative. You'd work directly with our team and international partners. I can't speak. We'll need an answer soon, the Surgeon General continues. But first, there's something else we need to address. He looks uncomfortable. We've contacted the State Medical Board. We formally requested they review your case. 3 weeks later, I'm back in the same State Medical Board review hall. But this time, I'm not the one on trial. The medical board has called a special session. My parents are here again. So is my uncle. So are most of the same doctors who were present when I was rejected. But now there are cameras, press corps, federal officials in the front row. My mother keeps glancing at me, confused. Honey, what's going on? Just wait, Mom, I say quietly. Dr. Foster stands at the podium. She looks uncomfortable. Won't meet my eyes. We've convened today, she begins, to address a matter of significant public interest. She clicks a remote. The screen behind her lights up. My name, my photo, and beneath it, REDS system. Developer, Michael Carter. Currently operational across 78 counties. Credited with early detection of 4 major outbreaks. Estimated 600 plus lives saved in first 90 days. My mother gasps. My father's eyes are locked on the screen. His mouth is slightly open. Dr. Foster continues, her voice tight. McCarter was denied licensure by this board based on his residency evaluation. That decision was made in full accordance with our established protocols. However, she pauses. The room is so quiet I can hear the camera shutters clicking. We were not made aware of the scope of Mr. Carter's work outside the residency program. His contributions to public health infrastructure have been formally recognized by the National Institute of Health, the CDC, and the Department of Health and Human Services. My uncle, 3 rows back, has gone completely still. His face is pale. The board chairman clears his throat. He looks like he's aged 10 years. We would like to formally acknowledge that our evaluation process may not have adequately assessed the full scope of Mr. Carter's competencies. While clinical performance remains essential, contributions to public health systems represent a significant. The Surgeon General stands. He wasn't scheduled to speak, but he does. Let me be very clear, he says, his voice cutting through the room. Michael Carter's system is now a critical component of our national disease surveillance network. He's currently training response teams in 3 states, and he's doing all of this without a medical license because you told him he wasn't good enough. Someone in the press section starts typing furiously. So the question isn't whether Mr. Carter is competent, the Surgeon General continues. The question is whether this board is equipped to recognize competence when it doesn't conform to your narrow checklist. The room erupts in whispers. My father is crying, quietly. His hand covers his mouth. My mother grabs my arm. Michael, is this really happening? I nod. Dr. Foster holds up a hand for silence. Mr. Carter, would you like to address the board? I wasn't expecting that. I stand slowly, walk to the front. No podium, just me. 60 pairs of eyes watching. I look at the board, at my uncle, at my parents. I don't think you were wrong, I say quietly. That catches them off guard. The whispers stop. I wasn't a great resident. I was distracted. I missed things. I was thinking about systems when I should have been focused on the patient in front of me. You evaluated me fairly, based on what you could see. I pause, take a breath. But you only saw what fit your framework. You measured me against a path I wasn't walking. And when I tried to show you different work, when I tried to explain what I was building, you told me it didn't matter. My uncle shifts uncomfortably, won't look at me. I didn't build REDS to prove anyone wrong, I continue. I didn't build it for recognition or validation. I built it because people were dying in places nobody was watching. Kids in rural counties with no specialists. Families in towns where an outbreak could wipe out half the population before anyone in Washington even heard about it. My voice stays level, calm. I built it because there was a gap, and I could fill it. Not because I was special, but because I was paying attention to something you weren't. I look at Dr. Foster. You judged me by what you understood, not by what actually mattered. I turn to face the room, and I think that's the real lesson here. Not that you were cruel, not that you were malicious, but that you confused credentials with capability. You confused following protocol with solving problems. You looked at someone who didn't fit your mold and decided they had failed, when really they were just building something you couldn't see yet. The room is dead silent. So, no, I'm not angry. I'm just tired. Tired of pretending that your approval defines my value. Tired of measuring my work by whether it impresses people who never took the time to understand it. I look at my parents. I'm grateful for the training, I'm grateful for what I learned, but I'm done apologizing for who I am. After the session, they offer me everything: reinstatement, expedited licensure, a formal advisory position with the State Medical Board on Public Health Innovation, a written apology to be published in JAMA. Dr. Foster approaches me in the hallway. Mr. Carter, I hope you'll seriously consider our offer. We missed the bigger picture. I appreciate that, I say. Will you accept the reinstatement? I think about it. I need time. She nods, walks away. My uncle approaches next. He looks like he hasn't slept in days. Michael, I hold up a hand. It's fine. No, I need to say this. I underestimated you. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I nod. Thanks for saying that. He hesitates. Are you going to take the license? I think about it. Honestly, I don't know yet. Why not? Because I didn't build this to get accepted, I say slowly. I built it because it needed to exist. The license won't change that. The title won't change that. He doesn't know what to say. I didn't need you to believe in me now, I continue. I needed you to listen back then, but that moment's gone. He nods slowly, walks away. My mother hugs me in the parking lot. She's crying, shaking. I'm so proud of you, sweetheart. I'm so sorry I didn't understand what you were doing. It's okay, Mom. My father stands a few feet away. He looks older than I remember, smaller somehow. I'm sorry, he says quietly. I should have listened to you. I walk over, put a hand on his shoulder. You were scared? I get it. He shakes his head, tears streaming down his face. You were never a failure. I couldn't see it. I was so worried about what everyone else would think. I forgot to ask what you were actually accomplishing. I know, Dad. Will you forgive me? I squeeze his shoulder. There's nothing to forgive. You did your best with what you knew. That evening, I'm sitting on the back porch, the sun's setting. It's quiet except for the crickets. My younger sister comes out and sits beside me. She's 17, smart, observant. Everyone's talking about you, she says. Yeah, I know. Does it feel good? I think about it. Not the way I expected. She's quiet for a moment. Then, were you angry when they rejected you? I shake my head. No, I was just exhausted. And now? I look at her, really look at her. She's watching me carefully, the way she always does when she's trying to learn something important. Now I know something they don't teach you in med school. What's that? I smile slightly. Being invisible didn't break me. It prepared me. She doesn't respond, just sits there beside me. Somewhere down the street, a dog barks. Inside, my mother is making dinner. My father is probably on the phone telling relatives what happened. Michael, my sister says after a while, can I ask you something? Sure. When nobody believed in you, how did you keep going? I think about that, the late nights, the self-doubt, the moments I almost gave up. I didn't do it alone, I say finally. I had people in those rural counties, health workers, who trusted the system even when they didn't know who built it. I had the data. I had a real problem right in front of me. And I realized my job wasn't to convince anyone. My job was just to show up and do the work. She nods slowly. And honestly, I continue. There were days I wanted to quit, days I thought maybe they were right about me. But then I'd see another outbreak caught early, another family that didn't lose someone because people had the right tools, and I'd realize this was never about me. It never was. My sister leans her head on my shoulder. I'm proud of you, she says quietly. Thanks. And when I'm older, she adds, I'm going to build something too. Something people don't understand yet. I smile. Good. Do it. We sit in silence for a while longer, and for the first time in 2 years, I feel like I can actually breathe. If you're still watching this, I need you to do something. Don't just scroll past. If this story hit home for you, if you've ever been dismissed, underestimated, told you weren't good enough, told your work didn't count, drop a comment right now. Tell me your story. Tell me what you're building in the shadows. Tell me what they said you couldn't do. Because here's the truth, you're not alone. There are thousands of people watching this right now who are working on something nobody sees yet, something nobody believes in, and they need to hear from you. They need to know someone else gets it. So comment below. Share this video. Tag someone who needs to hear this message. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button because I'm going to keep telling stories about people who refused to quit when the world told them they had failed. This isn't just content. This is a wake-up call. Your worth isn't defined by their approval. Your work matters, even when they can't see it yet. Now go build something that changes everything.